Yo, yo, yo. What's going on, guys? It has been a long while since I have made any video similar to this. Today, I'm going to be releasing, in my opinion, to my best ability, a movement guide on how to do all movement techs in Apex that I currently know how to do, and I can do them pretty good. So we'll start off with like the basics, with like tab strafing if you're on keyboard and mouse, and B hopping, and even wall bouncing. So, if you're on keyboard, you want to have your movement forward bound to scroll up, and your jump is going to be scroll down. Now it says right here that that space doesn't do it. This space still works, but I do not use space to jump at all. The only time I'll use space is when I'm trying to super glide. Super gliding is going to be later in the video, so I'll show you guys how to do that. But first, tap strafing. It's a pretty easy tech. All you do is you slide, you hold the direction you want to go, then you jump, scroll down, scroll forward. So when you scroll forward, you see how you move like this. So what you're going to do, you're going to slide, hold the direction, and then scroll backwards and then forward as you're turning. As you're turning, remember that. As you're turning, you're just going to hold the button, then you're going to do it. Scroll back, scroll forward. D, scroll back, scroll forward, and then look that direction. Remember, you have to slowly look in that direction. Okay. So for B hopping, B hopping is one of the easiest things. I do use it quite frequently. Just picture a super glide without not super glide, tap strafing, but just don't scroll forward. You're just gonna click a button, A or D. You can go back and forth between the two as well. You just hold the button and then you just jump. Hold the direction you want to go and then look. That way you do not need to scroll forward. You can if you want, but you do not have to. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to teach you guys is wall bouncing. Wall bouncing is super easy. Slide into it. Then when you slide into it, you run, slide kind of like at an angle. You look at it, let go of all your movement keys, and jump. And then as soon as you click, as soon as you're about to touch the wall, you scroll downwards, right? So you're going to look at the wall, scroll, scroll. And remember, you take your fingers off of your directional keys before you touch the wall. I usually take my fingers off right when I jump. So off, jump. Now you can combine a couple things to make the wall bounce a little bit better, like a little bit of tap strafing. But when it comes to just normal wall bounce, just slide into it, jump, jump. Just make sure to take your fingers off of it, because if you hold, say you hold like that A, that's what's going to happen. Or like if you hold W as you're doing it, it won't be like a normal wall bounce. It's a little bit different. I don't know why it's weird like that, but just make sure you're letting go of it. And it's a little bit easier for you. So the next thing I'm going to go into is going to be fatigue jumping. Fatigue jumping, in my opinion, it's niche. You don't really use it all the time. And honestly, I don't use it a whole lot. I'll do it when like I'm rotating or something, because fatigue jumping is a good way to keep your momentum and build it up again if you need to. So all fatigue jumping is, right, so when you jump, you see how your first jump's higher and then you get like that a bunch of little ones if you keep jumping. So what you're doing, right, you're jumping, waiting a second, and then just wall bouncing without sliding. Like you can just do it from a standstill. If you jump and then do it. You see that? Now if you do it wrong, you'll just bounce off of it. Now you can use that as well. I've used this a few times where like you just like run up to the wall and bounce off of it and you can slide away from it. It give you like that little jolt backwards. But you jump, keep the fatigue going, and then like you just connect to the wall and jump off. The same way as a normal wall bounce, you take your fingers off of the directional keys, just jump, jump. Super simple. You can use it in a lot of different ways in fights. Like if you know there's someone on this corner, you can just fatigue bounce around it and then punch them. Not punch them, but like pump them in the mouth with like a PK or a massive or whatever. But I use this a lot just moving around, just doing movement. I do that I think I do fatigue jumping a little bit more than I do normal wall bouncing, just because it's super easy to do, and it gives you a little bit of little jolt forward. But super simple. So the next thing I'm going to teach you guys is we're going to move into like the little bit more advanced ones that I do. The first one we're going to do is super glide. This seems to be like a big thing a lot of people like to do, try to learn. And it's also one of the hardest to do. So what you're doing, right? You see like when you climb up and you like that little like jolt at the very top. When you get to that jolt at the very peak of your climb, you're going to hit your crouch and your jump button. Now they need to be spaced out, not a lot. This all depends on your frame rate, guys. If you have a very high frame rate, like if you're capped at 240, it will be a lot harder for you to hit super glides than if you were at, say, like 150, 140. Like my frames they bounce between like 170 to like 2, depending on what I'm doing. These are my settings as well. I'll let you guys see them. That's what I play on. I turn them down sometimes, but I figured just for the quality of the video I'd keep them up. But what helped me, guys, right, is bind your crouch hold. I binded mine with V in control, right? So when I super glide, if you're on keyboard and mouse and you rest your thumb right on top of V and space, you can turn your key upside down. So my V button is upside down. That way when I super glide, if you have your finger positioned the correct way, it'll make hitting super glides a lot easier. Like I'm missing a lot up right now, but it makes it a lot easier to hit them as long as you are doing it right. I'm just there we go. I'm messing up. Everyone messes up when it comes to doing super glides. Even pros will every now and again. Just know super glide takes a lot of time to perfect. Super gliding is one of the harder ones to do. Just know that before you even start practicing. This is a harder technique in my opinion. Obviously you're going to have some people that are saying, oh, super gliding is easy. Just know it's hard to get used to. But once you perfect it and you get really good at it, it's secondhand nature. It gets really easy. I'll put a website in the description for it. There is a website that you can actually practice super glides. I used it for a while until I got used to it, and I could start hitting. I hit them. I think I have like around like a 70 to 80% super glide rate. Not right now, obviously. I'm messing up, but that's fine. I did show you I could do it like right there. Like I can do it. It's tricky. But the next thing I'm going to show you guys is going to be my menace. This was the hardest thing it took me to learn how to do at a consistent rate, was mantle jumping. I had a lot of trouble mantle jumping, looking down in specific, right? I could not for the life of me hit a mantle jump looking down for a long time. It's very weird. It's super time based. I will try my best to explain it to you guys the best way possible. But the best way I can explain it to you, right, is when you're going up. You see how like when you did a super glide, how at like the peak of your climb. So what you're gonna do is at the peak of your climb, you're going to let go of W and press S. You're going to move backwards, right? So like if you're right here and say you're about to climb up, you're gonna do this and then hit S. Hit S. Like right at that peak. Right at that peak, you're going to hit S and immediately look down. And what's that? Super jump. If you don't know what a super jump is, you can do this on controller. You can do it on anything. All it is you're grabbing a hold of a zip line and you're scrolling. You're jumping really fast. You see how much higher you go? That's a super jump or a zip line jump, whatever they're called. I'm not exactly sure. but that's what you're doing. You're looking down just enough to grab it, and then you're gonna super jump directly off of it, and it's gonna give you that little like jolt forward and upwards that you need to hit the mantle jump. Super simple. It takes getting used to. Do not get upset if you cannot hit it. It is very, in my opinion, it's niche. It's hard. It's easier to do it looking up, in my opinion. I've had so much easier time doing it looking up, but there's some that you just can't even do it looking up. So just remember that. Some places you can't do it. And you can also do a mantle jump without even being on it, right? So say you're just like running around up here, you can turn around and do it, just like that. You don't actually have to be attached or climbing up. You just have to be in the correct spot to do it. Because there is a little like section, right, of when you walk backwards to where you're kind of in the air, like you're not really standing on nothing. And that's how you do it. So you don't even need to be like going up the zip to do it. You can literally just turn around, look down, and do it. Same thing for upwards. You can do the same thing. Super simple. Nothing hard about it. It just takes time and practice. Remember, guys, everything you're seeing in this video is going to take time and practice. Some people it's going to be easier for them. Some people it's going to be harder. I can show you guys a couple more things here. These are the really advanced ones. By really advanced ones, it's pretty much just, I think it's called a Neo Strafe. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm 100% doing it correctly, you guys. So this could be just complete misinformation for you, but this is just what I know as the time from the time that I've done it. Like that right there, from what I know, I'm pretty sure it is a Neo Strafe. So what you do, right, this is the hardest one that I'm still actively trying to like perfect. So to start it, you're going to have to get a good slide, right? You have to get a good slide going. It's easier to do with Octane Stem, but all you're doing, right, is shifting your momentum left and right. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to start off holding AS, or whichever direction you want to start in. You're going to go in that direction, AS, and then you're going to move to WSD. And then to go back, you're going to let go of S, D, go to W, let go of D, go to A, let go of W, and then hold the A and S. Remember, you're going to go in like a circular motion back and forth like this. You see how it's like that? This is all you're doing. You're going to go in like kind of like a figure eight. That's all you're doing is a figure eight with your keys. You cannot do this on console. You can't. If you do, they're cheating. You cannot do it. Because you have to do tap strafing in between it. Right? So every time you shift your momentum, when you let go of S and go to W, you're going to tap strafe as you're moving in the other direction. Like you're going to go AS, WA, then you're going to tap strafe as soon as you go into once you start clicking D. You're going to start tap strafing in that direction, so it's going to give you that like quicker. See how it was like a little quicker right there? It's going to give you that quicker strafe pattern. Now this will take a lot of time. Like I said, I've been doing this for a while, and I can't even perfect it. I mean, I'm getting better at it, obviously, but it's still very difficult. It's still very difficult. I can show you guys another one that I don't actively do this, but if you run up and you turn around at the last second on something, can you still do it? I don't even know if you can still do it. So when you turn around, if you turn around at last second, right before you go off the edge, you can actually just go from a standing into walking into a super glide. But it's very hard. All you're doing is like running off the edge and turning around. You know what I mean? And if you do it at the perfect time, you will not fall off. You'll just grab a hold of it. You know what I mean? So then you can just super glide by just turning around and going to run off of something, and then I probably cannot even show you guys this because it's hard. So I'm not gonna be able to show you guys that. But yeah, that's pretty much my movement guide to Apex. I don't think I missed anything. If I did, just let me know in the comments. And guys, please try to keep the hate down a little bit. I know it's a late to do movement guides, but I wanted to get one out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I appreciate you guys for watching, and like, sub, comment. You have a great rest of your day.